Hey. Alrighty now. I done found the parable that I wanted to share with y'all, and I'm so excited because it got like three parables all in the same um, paragraph. So it's from the Gospel of the Holy 12. What I am trying to figure out how to do is get that screen up right this second. Now I wanted to show you the cover of the Gospel of the Holy 12. Because there's this whole website you can go to. They have this on there. Look at this, 1904, with the translator's signature on the inside of it. The Gospel of the Holy 12. Then I guess in 1954, the Order of At One Mint and United Templar Society edition. So they remade it in 1954, I guess, and then this is 1956, John M. Watkins edition. So that's just what I guess the cover of the original ones look like. Yeah, see, this has been out since it said something about 1881, which would make sense if it was 1904 when the first edition was out. So yeah, this information been out for a long time, but it said something about it was well, we know it was suppressed. Now, this is the one I wanted to read out of there. It's LECTION 28:16, I think. The feeding of the 5,000 with 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes. Now, like I said, this one was this one was translated from the Aramaic. It is very similar to the King James Version, but it differs. Like, if you even see the title of this one, it says 6 loaves. And 7 clusters of grapes. There's no fish in this parable. And that's going to go hitting back onto what the Megillah was talking about, where there was a sect of people that did not eat meat or in animal sacrifice, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, that's the difference about this parable. And then there's another one or two things different in here. So, yeah, Quashab, how they say in the Holy Megillah, that means prick up your ears, y'all. Here we go. And the feast of the Passover drew nigh, and the apostles and their fellows gathered themselves together unto Jesus, and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said unto them, Come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure such much as to eat. And they departed into a desert place by ship privately, and the people saw them departing, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all cities, and outwent them, and came together unto him. And when Jesus, when he came forth, saw much people and was moved with compassion towards them, because they were as sheep having not a shepherd, and the day was far spent. And his disciples came unto him and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away that they may go into the country round about into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. And he answered and said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 pennyworth of bread, and give them to eat? And he said unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they said, 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies of 50 upon the grass. And they sat down in ranks by hundreds and by fifties. And when he had taken the 6 loaves and the 7 clusters of grapes, he looked up to heaven and blessed and brake the loaves and the grapes also, and gave them to his disciples to set before them, and they divided them among them all. And they did eat, and they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up the 12 baskets full of the fragments that were left, and they that did eat of the loaves and of the fruit were about 5,000 men, women, and children. And he taught them many things. And when the people had seen and heard, they were filled with gladness, and said, Truly this is that prophet that should come into the world. And when he perceived that they would take him by force to make him a king, he straightway constrained his disciples to get into the ship, and to go to the other side before him unto Bethsaida, while he sent away the people. I don't know which one, whether it was the people that were going to try to make him a king or if it was his disciples. I don't know, because it's not specific, but it says he straightway constrained his disciples to get into the ship. And you'll see a little later in the paragraph why I said I don't know if it was the disciples or not. And when he had sent them away, he departed into a mountain to pray. And when evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. The third watch of the night, Jesus went. Sorry, it's moving all around. The third watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, Is it a spirit? And they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spoke unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come out unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? For did not I call thee? And when he went up unto them into the ship, and the wind ceased, and they were sore amazed in themselves beyond measure, and wondered, for they considered not the miracle of the loaves and the fruit, for their hearts were hardened. That's why I was saying I don't know if it was the disciples or the people, because of this little part right here. And then them being on the ship and everything being all crazy until Jesus went up unto them to the ship, and the wind ceased. Okay. And when they come into the ship, there was a great calm. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth, thou art a Son of God. And when they had passed over, they came unto the land of Gennesaret. And that's a different part right there. They don't say the Son of God, like there's only one. They say a Son of God. That's different than the King James. All right, Gennesaret, and drew to the shore. And when they were come out of the ship, straightway they knew him, and ran through the whole region round about, and began to carry out in beds those that were sick, when they heard he was where they heard he was. And whitherso he entered into villages or cities or countries, they laid the sick in the streets, and besought him that they might touch, if it were but the garment, the border of his garment. That's another prophecy, all in this one part. And anyone, yeah, okay. And as many as touched him were made whole. After these things, Jesus came with his disciples unto Judea, and there he tarried and baptized many who came unto him and received his doctrine. Right. Perfect. Before 10 minutes. All right. I just wanted to share that with you guys from the Holy 12. Yeah, go find that one. Y'all should be checking it out. It's got a lot of stuff in there. I really appreciate everybody who watches the videos and likes and subscribes. I'm going to get some more good stuff up here for you. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned.
What's up, Griff? Got the homie with me. Excuse me. Got my people.